So here we will go ahead and go over payments and how they work inside the Booking Koala system. So you can go ahead and create rules for every single one of your providers or teams. So when you create a provider, you can go ahead and go under their profile and set how much they by default get paid per industry. If you have multiple industries and perform, you could go ahead and go here and say, okay, this person gets $50 per every single job, or 50%, or $10 per hour, whatever you want to set. And you could do that per industry. Now, for teams, you could go ahead and go to the team and set up who gets the payment in the first place. Is it only the team leader, or does it get distributed and sent out to everybody? So we did introduce these types of rules. So here, who will receive payment, and then you could go ahead and adjust if it's for everybody, how much is this person getting paid, how much is this person getting paid. Okay, so if we do $25, the other person, let's say, gets 20 or whatever, you could go ahead and do that. And now on top of that, you could go ahead and go under this team and introduce variables. So for example, how much in gas do you give to a provider or a team? Do you reimburse $5 per job? Do you reimburse $5 for, let's say, supplies or something like that? If you activate those rules, you'll be able to set that up per provider. So here under provider, under store options, you would be able to introduce such a rule. So if you have W-2s, let's say, and you offer gas for anybody that's traveling, you give $5 per job, you'll be able to activate this. Now you'll go back to the provider and make sure that it's here. So under profile, you'll go ahead and go under W-2s, and now let's refresh the page since we made a new change. It has to reflect everywhere. Okay, so now there we have it. Now it shows up. And this is for service area. So if someone's traveling and they're not in a merchant location where they're working as a barber, let's say, all day in the same store, you could do different variables for that. But if there's traveling, there could be something like gas that comes into play, and you can go ahead and put that in. So now let's say that's there, we'll update it, make sure it's saved for this provider, and you'll have to do this for every single provider that's there. For the teams as well. So the team right here, this person, you have to do it for every single team member there, and you could change it so you could do like $3 or $2.50 for this person, $2.50 for the other person if you like, and then I'll show you how to adjust all of this later on anyways. Okay, so let's see what comes up. So right now we have this person, and now we'll try to schedule something. Okay, so we have a fake customer that we'll use. And now we'll go pick our providers. So we'll go ahead and pick for tomorrow, let's say, and click 8 a.m. And now this person, we did not activate the actual variable here. So we did not save it for this person. So let's see who we did save it for. We did save it for this person, but we never went into this profile and we never activated it for this person. So as you can see, this showed up for this person, but it never showed up for that person because we still need to activate it. So now what you can do is adjust it furthermore here. So if you say, okay, I want to actually pay more for this job or whatever, or less, or change it to per hour, you could go ahead and do that. You could also take away this. So if there's a team and everybody gets paid, you could go ahead and give gas to one person and say, this one's not getting any gas. Okay, and then you could of course give tips, and you could deactivate this as well. So you could go ahead and let's say 15%, and then since this only the team leader is getting paid for this, we activate it so the team leader only gets paid, only they get the tip. But if you activate that, both of them will have it, then there would be two boxes here, and you could adjust this. Same for parking and bonus. So you could have bonuses as well, and it gets forwarded over to this person. You could also activate service fees where it charges, let's say, $5 service fee for the customer on top of the total, which would get passed on to these providers as well. And you could, of course, choose that. So you could go ahead and manage all of this here, and then everything at the end is calculated here. So you could go ahead and pick the date that you want to send payment for, and then everything will be shown here for all of the providers. And you could go ahead and either pay them with cash or check, which you'll mark it as cash check, so it marks it in the system, and you could pay them via cash and check yourself. Or if you have Stripe connected, you could transfer this over to their bank account right away, basically. And here you could go ahead and view the actual jobs, the amounts per job, and how much they're getting paid. And you could even go back in here and adjust each one of these before you send out the payment, or you could go ahead and override the entire amount and send a new one if you'd like. And this will record it inside the software, and it will go ahead and reflect everything under the reports. Okay, and we are constantly improving this section to make it as good for you guys as possible. So there's lots of cool new features that we will introduce as well, especially based on feedback. So stay tuned. But there you have it. That is how the payment section would work.